Hey, Mark Rodriguez here, and you're watching the Review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. And today we're talking about this very cool independent comic book that I found at an Indiegogo campaign. This is Arachna, bringing sexy back to comics, and I'm not kidding. This book is pretty hot. Now, what can I say? I saw this in a campaign, and they were actually advertising it for months in advance. You know, like the overall idea, her character design, some sketches. They actually have a girl dressed up as Arachna and everything to kind of advertise it. So by the time that the campaign actually started, I believe that either they hit their goal like on the first day, or they cracked 1,000, or it was something big that happened the first day. I don't know if it's like they either cracked over 1,000 or over $1 million or something, or it was that that they hit the goal, like just full on first day. It was that fast. That was you know, very high demand. So what can I say? That's a very good advertising campaign. Have people like just waiting and waiting. It was kind of like just shut up and take my money, and I'm kind of like that was me too, you know. So what can I say? This book started shipping, I believe, end of October. So some people might have not gotten their copy yet. I'm gonna take it easy on the spoilers because I don't want to ruin an experience for you guys. I also have a blog review. You know my blogs, they usually go by the whole play-by-play. I'm gonna give it a week or so, you know, before I put it online. I already got it saved as a draft, but I'm not gonna put it online for another week or so because, again, I don't want to ruin the experience. It's still shipping. I'm not sure everyone got their copies yet. I'm not sure if people that paid, I guess, for the higher tiers and more stuff, if it takes longer to ship or not. I mean, hey, I went for the shirt too. I sprung extra for the shirt. It came. It's pretty awesome. It's like, you know, you got Arachna on here. I'm not sure if you can see in the back. You got the Arachna logo on the back, so that's pretty cool. Part of my messy hair. But, yeah. And also, I got some cards here. So I got some cards of Arachna herself and Kumo, the main villain. This is the girl I mentioned that's like in the suit, like, you know, an actual actress dressed up as Arachna. I got a extra bookmark, so it's kind of cool. And I also got an Arachna sticker, which I'm debating where to put it in the fridge or not. Because you know how it is. Once the sticker's there, it's there. I don't want to like lose it. But my advice, guys, put refrigerator magnets. Make a refrigerator magnet of it, because that way you can put it on the fridge and take it off, on and off, you know. So that kind of lasts longer. And I also got a print of Kumo, and I can't show that print. It's too hot for YouTube. So what can I say? It's a very big book here. Lots of good action panels, lots of splash panels and stuff. But the book is pretty thick, so like the story, you know, it lasts you a while to read, and the bookmark was very helpful. So I'm going to go into the plot a little bit, but again, you know, not too much spoilers. So basically the whole story, like her character is kind of like a mixture between, obviously, you know, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, but also kind of like the Mask or Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. She has a split personality, and we're not sure where she got her powers from or anything. All we know is that, like, the regular person, her name is Jenny, and she's a regular, you know, I guess, shy, awkward college student and stuff like that. We don't see her that much, but you kind of get the idea. You know, what we do see of her as herself, we do get the idea that she's very shy, awkward, and all that. And Arachna, of course, is a superheroine that goes out and fights crime. It kind of looks like it's been going on for a while because the city already knows her. You got people say, hey, Arachna, like they already know her, so she's been at this for a while. And Jenny also has like no idea what she does as Arachna. So if Arachna gets in a big fight and she gets like beat up or cut or something, like the next morning or something, Jenny's going to wake up like wondering where these cuts came from and stuff like that. Now the weird thing is they do talk to each other, and somehow I guess like you don't necessarily, like at first it looks like it was the costume, like you needed the costume to kind of, I guess, summon each other up and stuff like that. But later on you kind of notice it's not, I guess the costume just kind of helps guide her psyche, but it's not necessarily the costume that controls like the personality. But for the most part, once she puts on her outfit, she becomes Arachna. But there are times where part of her costume is off and stuff, and she's still Arachna, and Arachna's like, oh my god, Jenny, please don't wake up now, because I need to stay as Arachna to get out of this mess and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting, their dynamic and everything. So basically speaking, the story kind of starts with, you know, typical, she beats up some bad guys and stuff like that, so you get an idea of her powers and, you know, score a win. But now you've got like more dangerous bad guys. You got a guy called Dr. Diabolic, which I can't tell because the spelling is kind of weird, so I can't tell if it's just diabolic or diabolique. I don't know. If any of the people behind the comic are posted below, you guys let me know if it's diabolic or diabolique. And she has this girl named Mako that is working under him. And so they stage a big mugging. Like she's going out, Arachna's going out doing her thing. And the doctor, like there's like this guy mugging a woman and stuff, but it turns out to be these two bad guys. So while she's busy fighting the guy, the girl surprisingly shoots her with a tranquilizer dart, and now she's captured. So they experiment on her. They're trying to find out where she gets her powers from, which at this point, like, it looks like Arachna doesn't even know. So that's a mystery that I guess will be ongoing. We'll see if we ever find out or whatever. But they make a serum out of her, I guess, her DNA or whatever, and Mako drinks it, and Mako becomes another spider-powered woman named Kumo, which is kind of clever because Kumo is spider in Japanese. And well, I'm just gonna. The only thing the only thing I can say is that Arachna suffers a very devastating defeat. So after that, she doesn't want to come out anymore. And it gets to the point where Jenny herself tries to take over, even though she's a regular person that has no experience in fighting and junk like that. So the story does get very interesting in that point of view. And that's all I'm going to say. The rest, you got to read the book to find out. And what can I say? The book is full lots of action, lots of blood here and there. They don't shy away from the blood or anything. What can I say? Lots of... I guess for the adult stuff, you know how some adult books have like what we call, I guess it's what we call tasteful nudity. Now, tasteful nudity, in my opinion, before it goes all out into, more adult, like actual, like NC-17 or rated R, whatever you want to call it, what I believe, like, tasteful nudity is showing people in their underwear or just showing the boobs and, of course, like the butt, but not anything else, not the actual genitalia, you know what I mean? And, maybe the characters are doing their thing, but you know how it is, it's off screen, off panel, they're, in silhouettes or whatever, but you're not seeing the full-on action or whatever because, they're not going to go that far. So, yeah, basically that's how the book goes. Like, right off the bat, like, the first page is already Jenny lying naked in her bed, and I'm like, holy shit, I was expecting this right off the bat, like, on the first page. I was expecting it throughout the book, but bam, first page, you know what I mean? And, yeah, so of course there's some parts where she's dressing and undressing, in and out of the costume. When she gets beat up, there's times where part of her costume's, missing and stuff like that, So yeah, so you're gonna see boobs and stuff like that. So so that's where the adult part starts. And there's there's adult like things referred to in the book and stuff like that. But it's not gonna go all out. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of book. It is still a superhero story. It's still a story about this girl trying to do the right thing and dealing with her personality and stuff like that. Now, what is interesting though is that Arachna is very noble. There are some times in the book where she is challenged on whether or not it's easier for her to either just kill the bad guys outright or just leave them to die, but she still like makes a decision to save their lives and stuff. But it's interesting that comes up. And also her defeat, because it's kind of implied that she always just beats up regular bad guys and all's good. But this is like a tough one. This is like I guess it's like her first time fighting actual super villains and not just, regular robbers. I think that's what the book implies. So it's a lot crazier, more wilder stuff. And more wilder shit is happening too. Like the book implies that in the next one, there's going to be like yet another supervillain going after her. So it's kind of interesting how, like now that she's being a superhero, now she's really going deep into the world of all these crazy other enemies, Like she's not the only one with powers. Now she's going to fight versus all kinds of superpower enemies and shit like that. Now as for her powers, from what I can tell, she shoots webs from her fingertips, like under her fingernails. I have no idea how that would feel. Oh god. But yeah, the webs come from under her fingernails, which means she can actually shoot out, like, if she wanted to, she could shoot out 5 webs. She could shoot out 10 webs because they're coming from her fingertips, So that's kind of different right there. And she's got, super strength, and she's also got, like, regeneration, but it takes time. It's not, like overly carried away like other comics where at one time like you heal in a day or so, but nowadays it's like you can regenerate from a drop of blood. What the fuck, you know what I mean? But in this one, she gets beat up pretty bad. It still takes her time to heal and regenerate and shit like that. So that's another power she has. And yeah, I believe that's most of her powers. And of course the whole, I don't know if that counts as a power or not, but the whole split personality thing. And as for the bad guys, what can I say? Diabolique is your typical like mad scientist guy. And he's been messing with like animal, experimentation, making mutants and stuff. So he's curious about her. It's like, where did she come from? How did she get her powers? Like, I thought I was the only guy that was like doing all these animal experiments. Where did she get her spider powers? You know what I mean? And Meiko's an interesting case because Meiko feels that she owes her life and everything to the Doctor. She feels that she's like the daughter the Doctor never had, and I guess she doesn't have any love for her family, so she's getting like that kind of paternal love through him, so she'll do whatever for him, even kill and stuff like that. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. It's pretty good art, lots of good fighting. Again, it doesn't shy away from the blood and stuff like that. A little bit of comedy here and there. I like the little bantering between Jenny and Arachna. Unfortunately, she's literally talking to herself though, so other people can actually see her. She has to like hide someplace and talk because people can hear her both sides talking. It's not like here, it's like talking, so she, so people think she's crazy. I like the part when she was fighting against Kumo. There's the part where she gets slammed up against like I guess they got animal experiments and shit, so there's like broken glass with animal parts or whatever, and this girl actually grabs like a fucking monkey's claw or something and bats Kumo across the face with it, so I kind of like that. So it's kind of cool. It's got his comedy, it's got his action, it's got the whole dealing with, the split personality thing, while at the same time, you know how it is, trying to somehow live a normal life with all this shit, with this weird thing where you can wake up in the morning not even knowing if you're fucking like cut up or shot or some shit. That's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But anyways, it's a pretty good book. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good read because it was a lot thicker than I was expecting it to be. It's not quite a hardback, but I believe they do have hardback versions if you pay extra. Because it's more, like it feels like a firmer cardboard, but it is a pretty thick book. And like I said, I got the shirt, I got the extra cards and bookmarks and stuff. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, whenever part 2 comes out, I'm definitely going to put my money in there because I'm pretty sure that after the success of this book, which I'm assuming is going to be very successful, I'm assuming that whenever part 2 comes out, people are going to be, once again, like, just shut up and take my money. So that's going to be me too. I'm going to put my money in there. I'm like, no doubt in my mind that they're going to meet their goal for number 2. So it's pretty awesome. I love this book. What can I say? Shout out to everyone involved. Just give a quick shout out to the people here because I won't memorize any of these names. But we got Carlos Granda as the artist, Marcin Strelkov as the colorist, Helica Ordo as the letterer, Samantha Off, Renato Cunha, Carlos Atoli, Andrew Chodosov, and Reg Vicente for the variant covers. I wonder which one did the topless cover, huh? Tyler Gaudet for character design and the creator / co-plotter, Carlos Granda, I already said Carlos Granda, and Marty Kalpinen as the writer / co-plotter. And it just comes from X53 Studios, so it's pretty cool. And that's all I gotta say. It's worth checking out. I'm sure that eventually, because I think these things, like, they first are only available once you do like the whole campaign with Kickstarter, Indiegogo and stuff. But once they're actually out, then they appear on the website, for you to actually buy after the fact. So whenever that happens, that'll be super awesome. So anyways, guys, this is Mark Rodriguez here. We'll see you later. This has been the Review Sanctum, where everything and anything may be reviewed. Catch you later.